Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss movies and horror. And today I'm finally here to talk to you about Elevator Game.
It's coffee time.
Since I heard about the movie, I was really excited because I love the true crime story that it's based on. Netflix did a documentary about it as well, which I can totally recommend. So I was excited also because it's kind of like it has that urban legend kind of vibe, but also it is a game that you play, and we already got a beautiful game this year called Talk to Me, so I was excited to see what they were gonna do with this one. I finally had access to the movie, finally watched it, and I'm here to talk to you guys about it. As always, spoiler free. So as I was saying, the Elevator Game, it is a real game that actually people have been playing. It originated in Korea after there was some footage of a woman in an elevator at a hotel that basically went viral. This woman sadly died. I think it was back in 2013. And after that, a lot of people started talking about an elevator game that the woman supposedly had played, and that is what got her killed. Since then, you know, the game became popular. YouTubers have been talking about it. They have been trying it out and all of that. And it was about time that somebody did a movie about it. This film is a Shudder original based on that game. It's a supernatural movie. It is basically a game that you play in an elevator. It has to have at least 10 floors, and the rules are explained in this movie, but you can also check the rules online. It describes exactly step by step what you have to do to play the game right. Directed by Rebecca McKendry, who has directed a couple of horror movies already. Some of the most recent ones are Separation from 2020 and also Glorious. Elevator Game follows a socially awkward teenager called Ryan who infiltrates himself into a group of recent high school graduates that run an online web series debunking urban legends. But Ryan has a secret. His sister disappeared months earlier, and he believes the elevator game was responsible. To play the game, you must ride the elevator in a specific sequence, invoking a supernatural creature. In an attempt to gain more information on the disappearance of his sister, Ryan joins this group and kind of pushes them a little bit to do a video on this game, and he hopes by playing the game with these people, he's gonna get to the bottom of things and figure out if that woman that appears at the 5th floor actually exist. The rules for the game are quite simple. You need to pick a building that has an elevator that goes at least up to the 10th floor, and then you have to go from floor to floor, you know, specific floors, and when the door opens you're not allowed to leave. When you get to the 5th floor you're not allowed to open your eyes because the woman is gonna join you in the elevator. Like, there is a specific set of rules that we see already at the beginning when our first victim, Ryan's sister, plays the game for us, so that we as the audience get familiar with the game and we know how it works. What we follow is a group of teenagers that are trying to earn their money through YouTube videos where they debunk urban legends. And so when Ryan joins them and suggests they play the elevator game, at the beginning they are a little bit like worried because they think a video like this will not be interesting, but they don't have any choice because they quickly need to put up a video for one of their sponsors, so they're kind of forced into recording this game. Like many other movies that have this type of games, when you start the game you know that you are going to release some sort of supernatural entity, and you have to play the game to the end if you want to survive. It's really interesting because one of the things that I did not find so kind of interesting about the movie is that obviously making a movie that it's just based on an elevator going to certain floors up and down all the time, and having to do that a lot at the beginning to try to create some tension, I thought it was going to be complicated. And it's funny because the YouTubers at the beginning of the film, they are even saying themselves they don't know if this YouTube video about this urban legend is gonna work because they are stuck in an elevator just pushing buttons, which is exactly the feeling that you get when you're a viewer. I think the idea for this movie is great. I just think that they had to stretch it a little bit, and they didn't know exactly how to stretch it, especially at the beginning, in a way that would be engaging for the audience. And when things start to pick up, it's already when we are towards the end of the film. I did find some of the soundtrack a little bit kind of out of place. I don't know if that was supposed to kind of mimic our, you know, young teenagers that still don't know how to do like amazing videos with amazing music, but there was a time at the beginning of the film when they are setting up to prepare everything to play the game in this building, and they had this music going on that it was really annoying to me, and it was taking me out of the film, and it was just bothering me. I don't know, but that kind of broke the tension of them preparing things and getting ready to basically put themselves in danger, because you as a viewer know the game is real because you've seen it work from the very first scene, and so you know what they're getting themselves into, and the music was not helping. So yeah, that's something that just didn't quite work for me. So I don't know, I feel like, you know, I love the visuals of the film. I think the cinematography was good. I feel like they had a great idea. You can make so many interesting shots inside of an elevator where you're locked, and we've seen other movies that have done a great job at creating tension inside of an elevator, like the movie Devil that came out a long time ago, but you know, they managed to create that tension. And I think like this movie was a little bit unsure of what it wanted to be, like a really serious, scary movie about an urban legend or something a little bit more with a comedy in it, and they kind of lost, I think, their focus. These scares were a little bit limited, and especially they don't really start to be super effective until the ending is coming around, and I did enjoy some of the kills, especially the ones that are the goriest. There is some gore, some blood splatter that I really enjoyed, and honestly one of the best things about this film was seeing the woman from the 5th floor, but we don't get to see her enough. And you know, when she comes to the screen, it's like finally, you know, it's working, but then it's just very short-lived. I feel like her character, the way she moved and looked, was one of the scariest things that the movie had, and I don't know if they knew how to exploit that. They also introduced the idea that when you're playing this game, you can connect to the other world, and so I was expecting that they would explore this other world a little bit, and they would show us more of it and explain us more about, you know, how it works and how do we get there and how is this connection possible. I guess I've been spoiled with movies like Insidious, like really digging deeper into the further. In the end, I gave it a 2 out of 5. I think making a movie about a ghost, you know, an urban legend, a game, it can be tricky because it's something that we've seen done a lot before, and I do have to praise them for some of the visuals, some of the shots, some of the color combination that they use. I think it has interesting shots as well inside of the elevator and showing different points of view with the camera. I just feel like they lost it a little bit when it comes to the pacing and building up proper tension. The horror is there. There are some scares, there is some gore in the film, people die, but I just feel like it didn't have an impact. It was not as scary as it should have been, and I think it's because the horror that we get is very short-lived in the film, and they are not really committing to it and to this woman. So it was a pity because I really liked the design of the 5th floor woman, and I loved the shots when she would come on screen. But anyways, you guys, this was my spoiler-free review of the film. I did enjoy it overall, so I hope this review doesn't come off as too negative, because at the end of the day, I did enjoy it, and I would still check out more things by the director. I thought it was a fun movie about an urban legend, you know, some teenagers getting killed, which is something that we all loved, and I would still recommend you guys to give it a shot, especially if you already have Shudder. Let me know, you guys, down below what you thought about the film, if you've already watched it or if you're planning on watching it soon. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!